Okay, so let me just try and complete the surface. Remember, I was trying to draw this L-shaped surface, so I'll just highlight that part so that you can see it. It's just an L shape. Okay, so that part is from here, from those 2 points. Those 2 points from this view, they're there. So it's those 2 points, so it means that I have to go up. All right. Okay, what's the total length from there to here? So it's 65 plus 22. So 65 plus 22, it's 87. So I'll measure 87 from this point going up. All right, or I can measure from this point going up 65. All right. Okay, so I'll just measure from this point here, 65 going up. 65 is there, so mark a point. So from there I'll just draw a vertical line. Why a vertical line? It's because there's a line going up. All right. Okay. Just like that, and then I can just project that straight to that line. Okay, and then now what's the thickness of that part? If you look at the top view, we are given the thickness, which is 18. So I can measure 18 from that point going in or down. So it's 18, so I can just draw a vertical line. All right. Okay, and then now the total height of this casting from the base there, it's 82. So it means I can just extend that up, and then take that down a little bit. Okay, and then I'll measure what's that, 82. So I'll start from there. 82 is there, so that's the highest point of this drawing. Then from that point I'll just draw a line going up, light construction, and also here I'll just draw a light construction line, and then I can also extend that point up to that line. Okay, so when you look at the top view, I have that rectangle, those 2 flat surfaces. So those flat surfaces are here, so I just need to draw in those lines. Okay, so I'll just draw an outline from here going in, from here to there, and also from here to there, and there to there. And then I can just draw in a straight line there. Just like that. Okay, and then here, remember, there is that channel. It goes in to where, so it starts here, that V-shape part. It starts here and it ends where, there. So I do have this point on my drawing. That point is this one here, so I can project that up. Sorry about that, I'll come back to that section up there. I just need to complete this part first. Okay, there's a line there. Okay, it means this, it goes all the way to there. So I'll just extend that line to there. All right. Okay, and then from there, what I can do is place my set square like that, because I'll have to draw in a line as well there. All right, so I'll align my set square with that line there, then put another one just next to it, and then slide it down to that point there. I'm just drawing a parallel line, so just draw a line like that. Okay, and then from there it continues, goes up there like that. Okay, So I can also draw in this part here all the way to that last point. Okay, and then going up, it goes up by how much? So from here to there, it's 20 plus 12, which is 32. All right, so I'll measure 32 there. 32 is there, and then draw. Am I supposed to draw a straight line there? Just trying to check there. Okay, yeah. So I can just draw in a line there. Remember, I'm trying to complete this L shape surface. So it's right there. I'm done with that surface. So it's like that. So I can just transfer this to the other side. Do the same thing, draw a vertical line there, like that. Okay. Okay, so now I'll have to move to this two semicircles. So as you can see, I have that smaller semicircle. So it means this smaller circle is just in front of the bigger one. So the smaller one is here, and then the bigger one is just behind there. So at the back, right? So I'll start with this small circle. So remember, I have to draw an isometric semicircle. All right. So do those construction lines. So first of all, I have to find the center point, which is the midpoint, is there. So the length here, remember, is 60. So half of 60 is 30. So I mark the point there. So I can just draw center lines from that point there, like that. Okay, and also the vertical center lines, like that. Okay, so now I'll have to draw a square there. All right, using the radius that's given here. So as you can see, it's 18. So it's 18 from here to there, and also on the other side it's 18. All right, so I'll measure 18 from the midpoint going up, down, up, down. All right. Okay, so I'll measure the 18. Let me just use my compass. I'll just measure 18 there. Put my compass at the midpoint there. Mark a point there. Mark a point there. Mark a point there. And also at the bottom. Okay, so I have points there. So now I can just draw a square. So a light construction, a line there, and also there, across those points that I marked. Okay, so I guess you can see the square there. Let me just use my highlighter there in order for you to see the square. Okay, so that's the square. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this is the square. So it means now I can just draw in those lines. So obviously, if I have a square like that, I will have to draw the longest line within this square, and the longest line that I can draw within the square, it's a line from that point up there across the center point to the opposite side. All right, so this is the longest line that I can draw within the square. Okay, and then now I can draw a line from this point to that point there. So I'm bisecting this. I'm not really bisecting, I'm just drawing a line that intersects that line. All right, okay, if I drew a line there, it means I can draw a line from here to there as well. All right, as you can see, that line, it intersects with this line there. So obviously that's not important. I'll need this point, so I'll put my compass here to draw the arc somewhere there. All right, and then the arc here, I'll put my compass where, at this point there. Okay, so now I'm done with the constructions, so I can just draw in the semicircle, the isometric semicircle. So from that point there to this point, so just draw an arc. Okay, and then that part there, I'll have to put my compass there. From that point to that point at the top there, and then I just draw the arc. So this is the isometric semicircle, all right, which is this one here. So now it means I can just draw in those lines, which is this line here and that line. All right, okay, so now it makes sense. So I can just draw that in. Okay, so I'm done with the smaller semicircle. So now I'll have to try and draw the bigger one. All right, I'll do the same thing, it's just that I'll use the 30 radius. All right, okay, it's right there at the back. So if you can check, I have that point there, so it means I'll draw the square from that point there. Okay, so I'll measure 30 or 60. It's 60 going up, mark a point up there, and then I'll just draw a vertical line going down. Then from that point going down, I'll measure 60. Remember, I'm drawing a square, and then draw a line going up. So it means I have a point there, a point there, point there, and a point there. Okay, and then the midpoint there, it's 30. I'll mark 30. And then draw a straight line. And then from that point there going down, I have to mark the midpoint, which is 30. Then draw a line. Okay, so this is the center point of the square. All right, I hope you can see the square there, because I'll work from that square. So now I'll have to draw the longest line within that square. So the longest line is from this point to that point. All right, okay, and I'll just draw in that line, and then from this point draw a line going up to there. Then do the same thing at the bottom there, draw a line to that point like that. Okay, so that's where I'll put my compass to draw the arc there. Okay, I'll take my compass, let me just take the bigger one. I'll put my compass at that point there. Remember, I'm working on that square, so I'll put my compass at that point at the bottom to there. So I'll just draw an arc all the way to there. So from here, arc. Okay, and then there I'll just have a vertical line. I'll just connect that part. Okay, and then here I'll have an arc, so I'll just use the small compass, put my compass at that point, adjust my compass there. Okay, so I have to draw a line, an arc from that point up there to this point here. For now, okay, that's fine. So I'll just draw an arc there like that. Okay, and then I'll just connect those points like this, and also here to draw a line. If you check this triangle, it's this triangle here. Alright, I must also have a triangle on the other side, which is somewhere here. So I'll have to use my 30 by 60 and just draw a line up to there. So that triangle is here, but we can't see it fully because it's hidden. Alright, okay, so this is the back part of this casting. So if you can check, I do have that surface, alright, which is this section here. Alright, and then this surface, that part is here. Alright, okay, what's missing? Let's see. Just checking if I'm missing something. Goes in there. That opening is right here all the way in. That section. Okay, so it means this is the complete isometric drawing for this question. I hope this video was helpful. I was just showing you how to approach this type of a question. So this is an isometric drawing. I know it's challenging at times. If you can't visualize, obviously you'll be challenged. So what's better for you is to just practice EGD. Please do not look at the memorandums and tell yourself that no, I can do this, I can draw this. Please try and draw it. Please do not look at the memos. You can look at them, but you have to try and draw it as well. Alright, it's part of practice. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope this video will help you and give you an idea on how to approach this type of a question. Sharp.